Welcome back to another installment on inequalities. This time around, we are discussing inequality by subtraction. So without further delay, let's get started. So we have negative 2y plus 7 is greater than negative 7 plus y. Given the inequality above, which of the following must be true? You can start from either side, but we have conventionally started from the left side. Let's go ahead and do that. So if you add plus 2y on both sides, we have 7 greater than negative 7 plus 3y. If you add 7 on both sides, that's 21 greater than, 14 greater than 3y. And if you divide by 3 on both sides, it's 14 over 3 greater than y. In other words, y is less than 14 over 3. Y is, I think, it's less than around 4.6 something. That means values of y are definitely less than 5. You can safely say that, right? And that is the answer. So y is less than 5. A factory packs cereal boxes. Before sealing each box, a machine weighs it to ensure that it is no lighter than 356 grams and no heavier than 364 grams. If the box holds W grams of cereal, which inequality represents all allowable values of W? So think about it. The box, the machine that weighs the box, cannot be no lighter than 356 and no heavier than 364, right? So the best way to do this sort of problem is to use the answer choices themselves, right? So let's understand this statement right here. It's no lighter than 356 grams, right? And no heavier than 364 grams. So how do you do that? That means W cannot be greater than 364. In other words, W is less than 364 and it is greater than 356, right? Right? It cannot be lighter than 356 grams. It cannot be greater than 364 grams. So which one of these choices gives you this expression is the correct answer? Okay, so you have to use the question to derive the expression, and you have to use the answer choices to figure out which choice would be able to provide this expression. I have done this problem just moments before I started recording this video, so I know. Let's go ahead and pick choice E, W minus 360 less than or equal to 4. It's an absolute value, so let's pick the positive component is less than or equal to 4. You can add plus 360 on both sides. So W is less than or equal to, actually, it's no heavier, which means you also want it to be equal. I forgot the symbol. It can be no lighter than 356, right? That means it can be 356. Again, no heavier than 364 means it can be 364, which is why we said it's greater than, equal to, or less than equal to. So that means W can be less than or equal to 364. So for the negative component, you add the negative side on this side, and then when you multiply or divide, you flip the sign of the inequality and you also add a negative sign. You add plus 360 on both sides is greater than or equal to 356. And if you put it together, 356, W is greater than or equal to 356 and less than or equal to 364, you arrive at the answer choice. Now, let me tell you a quick backstory. When I did the problem the first time, I initially gauged, after I read through the problem and I figured out the expression, I gauge through the choices and figure out, for sure, I want my answer to have a greater than equal to or less than equal to. So right away, I eliminated these three choices because this would not provide me the inequality symbol that I want. So it can only be either this or this, but then I picked this one just out of guess and I got it right. If I had got it wrong, then obviously I would have gone back to this one, and that would by default would be the correct answer. But luckily, when I picked choice Z and worked it out, I got this, and that's the answer. So solve for x, we have 4x minus 8 greater than or equal to 28. So we add 8 on both sides, so 4x is greater than or equal to 36. We divide by 4 to just get it in terms of x, which is greater than 9. So the answer is B. This will be the last problem in this video. So negative 9x minus 38 is greater than 25. We can add first 30 plus 38 on both sides, which would be, what is it, 25 plus 38. It's 1363, right? And then you divide by 9, which makes x is greater than 7. And you flip the sign when you multiply or divide by negative, so x is less than negative 7. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you with another video on inequality by subtraction.